Once you come back with your mannequin from the shampoo bowl, you are going to detangle her in your station, and the proctor will tell you once you have 5 minutes remaining, and then eventually when your full 10 minutes for shampoo service are up, they will tell you, candidates, please stop working. All scoring has been completed for this section. We will now proceed to the next section of the examination. So then at that point, you will begin with your taking out of your hair shaping bag. They will read to you. You will now have 2 minutes to take out the supplies you will need for the hair shaping service section of the examination. Please place your Ziploc bag on top of your workstation to be evaluated by your rater. You may begin. So this is what you would do. Just take out your bag, place it, make sure that it's a hair shaping service, place it on your station, and the rater will come by to check for the labels and ensure that everything is in order in the bag. At this point, your reader will say, the next section is hair shaping service on the mannequin. You will have 40 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 20 minutes remaining. When finished with the haircut, please step back and raise your hand, and the rater will check your haircut. You may begin. So at that point, we do, of course, the very first thing is to sanitize our hands. And we are going to change the draping on the mannequin. I would suggest that you have an additional clip, a butterfly clip, just to hold the hair up while you are changing the draping. So the draping for this procedure will be neck strip and cape. You have your neck strips in your labeled bag. So we are going to remove the cape, take out the towel, and just dispose of it in the trash bag. Place your neck strip around the neck. And secure it with the... now take your T-pin from the service bag. You can use as many as you need to in order to secure this cape so that it will not fall during the service. So I'm just going to insert the pin, ensuring that the cape is not touching the skin. Just find a soft spot on your mannequin and insert it. The next step is to section the hair into any form of sectioning in order to control the hair. The sectioning that we will be using is the same one that we've been practicing before. So you're going to remove the clip, section it into 4 quadrants. Using, of course, your apex as a guide. Scale the line to right behind the ear. And secure the hair using a butterfly clip. Do the same to the opposite side. And follow that same division straight back all the way down to the nape. Just all the way down. Comb the hair and clip it up. We will begin by establishing a perimeter. Take out about a 1/2 inch all the way around the hairline. Just like that. Make sure that your sectioning is straight and as clean as possible. Do the same to the front quadrant. Just follow that same guide and all around the perimeter of the hairline. Remember, 1/2 inch. Do the same to the opposite side. Once you have established your perimeter, we are going to begin by doing the razor cut that requires at least 1 inch all around the perimeter. So you are going to take your guide, your first cutting section, just straight down at a 0, no elevation. Take your razor and you are going to angle your razor across your fingers. And with a zigzag motion just going up and down, we are going to cut straight across. Take a guide from what you just cut and continue establishing the perimeter all the way around. Another way you can use a razor, and I'm going to do this on the opposite side so that you can see the different methods. The same, I'm going to take it straight down at a 0 elevation. Establish your cutting line. And just place your razor all the way across on the subsection to cut. And just apply pressure in the opposite direction. And cut. Continue with your guide. See where my guideline is? I'm just going to place the razor there, apply pressure, and that is it. Okay, so your next step in the haircut is to bring down about a 1/2 inch from each quadrant down the center. 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Small enough to control it, but not too small where you're going to lose this guide. I'm just going to keep my guide clean by clipping the hair out of the way. So in total, I'm going to have approximately 1 inch down the center of the back of the hip. Clip this hair out of the way. We're going to do the same thing on the top front sections. Keeping this as your guide once again. You are just going to establish 1/2 inch from each. And again, your guide comes from the back. Just take that same amount straight across all the way to the front. Okay, so at this point we're going to take the guide that we had already established on the length. Just make sure to detangle the hair and always make sure to palm your shears. So I'm going to take a small amount, approximately 1.5 inches to 2 inches, enough to where it's going to fit in your finger without the danger of you cutting your knuckle. So I'm going to take this whole center section, as you can see, bring it out at an elevation of a 90-degree angle in relation to the curvature of the head. Straight out, ensure that you have even tension as you're bringing it out and that you're palming your shears. And as you can see, there's my guide at the very bottom. So I'm going to cut the hair to match it to that guide. Bring down another 1.5 to 2 inches. And we are going to pick up a small guide from the bottom once again. At this point, I can already turn my body and point my fingers down so that I can see my elevation from the side. And once again, we continue with the 90-degree elevation in relation to the curvature of the head. Find my guide and just cut to match that hair to the 90 degrees. Always make sure to palm your shears. You're going to continue with this all the way across to the top, maintaining that 90-degree elevation as you go. So once you have cut the entire center piece, it has to be looking similar to a mohawk. You have to go off and section about 1.5 inches from your sides. Got it? Section off 1.5 inches from your sides. You're going to go back, grab this center piece right at the apex. You're going to grab a subsection, and you have to be cutting at a 90-degree angle, straight up. There you go. You cut right there. You drop your first subsection, grab a new one, and again at a 90-degree angle, paying attention to the way my section is traveling with the shape of the head. That is all I have to cut. Drop. Grab about another inch, 1/2 inch. Travel again. Cut. And grab your last section. This should be traveling completely out of your customer's head, just like that. And cut. Ensuring you have your shears palmed in your hand and you are holding your shears correctly. So once you are done with this subsection, you're going to go off and section off the back quadrant. Just cut it in half. And you're going to be working with the lower section first. Saturate the hair entirely. And maintain your shears and your comb in your hand. Comb throughoutly. I'm going to be cutting that section right in half and taking part of the back section just like this, combing, making sure you are tangle free, your hair is tangle free. Look for your guideline and go ahead and cut. Okay. Remember, you are doing a 90-degree graduated haircut. So here, you just travel it out this way.
Go ahead and cross-check your haircut, making sure it's even. There we go. Go on to the next quadrant. And the same thing, just part it in half. Elevating the hair 90 degrees. There is my cutting line. Making sure to cut it right in half. I can even grab hair from a previous section just to make sure they are connected. There we go. You've cut the entire back part. Now let's travel to the front. Drop it, and now we have to connect my side to the top. Making sure we connect the front hairline also. Making sure you go back and connect. Once you have both of the sides ready, you go and finish up the other side. Make sure when you're done with your haircut, you go back and cross-check your haircut.